If you're a motion designer, you've probably heard the name Cavalry popping up everywhere. These days, Cavalry is really hyped, and in today's video, I'm gonna share my 2 weeks of experience using Cavalry as an After Effects user and talk about its pros and cons. At the end of this video, we will answer the question, will Cavalry replace After Effects? Without wasting any more time, let's begin with its pros. The first thing that you're going to realize when you open up the program is the old looking UI, which I really don't like, but that's not the point. Alright, primitives. On the left side of the composition window, you can see these shapes, which are basically the primitive shapes. For example, this arc tool has an outer radius, inner radius, a start angle, and end angle. Other shapes are pretty much the same, so I won't go over all of them. Here we have edit shape tool, which is exactly like direct selection tool from Illustrator. Most other things in terms of shapes and text are pretty much the same, but one thing I really want to point out is that you can paste SVGs directly into the program, which is incredible. The next thing I want to talk about is colors. Here we have our color wheel, and this is our color palette. Another cool feature is the palette generator, which has a few different methods to generate palettes directly inside the program. Alright, moving on to the next feature, which is the duplicator. In simple terms, a duplicator allows you to duplicate an object using a variety of distribution methods that help you create cool stuff in no time. For example, if you change the distribution to Fibonacci and animate its angle property, you'll end up with this cool animation. The next thing is connections. Just like After Effects, you can link properties to other properties. For example, we can link the circle's radius to the square's size. So the square size is driven by the circle's radius. And now my favorite thing in Cavalry, behaviors. Behaviors allow you to alter almost any input. For example, we have this grid of circles created using the duplicator. And inside the duplicator, we can apply a noise behavior to the shape's position. Now they are moving randomly, just like the vehicle expression. Another awesome feature is deformers. Deformers allow you to deform and manipulate your shapes using some built-in deformers. For example, we can apply squash and stretch, which is one of the 12 principles of animation. One deformer that really shocked me is the built-in rubber hose, and if you are familiar with it, you know how powerful it is. If this video has been helpful so far, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. This is the first video of this channel, and your support would mean a lot. Moving on to the next feature, magic easing and looping. Here we have this circle moving from left to right with linear keyframes. Instead of manually adjusting keyframe interpolation, we can use magic easing. For example, anticipate in, overshoot out. We can also oscillate this animation so it keeps looping. Filters. Since Cavalry is vector-based, glows and blurs don't really exist for vectors. However, using filters, we can still add raster-based effects like Gaussian blur. Now it's time to talk about Cavalry's downsides. First, Cavalry is a subscription-based program. There's a free version, but some features like Forge Dynamics are only available in the Pro version. The second downside is 3D. In the Pro version, you can enable 2.5D, which lets you move objects along the Z-axis, but you still can't add real depth to your shapes. In the Pro version, there is an extrude feature, but I believe it's more of a fake 3D and it doesn't look great, or at least I don't know how to use it properly yet. The third issue is the lack of tutorials. Although there are learning resources available, Cavalry is still not as popular as After Effects. With After Effects, when you search for a problem, hundreds of tutorials usually pop up. And now let's answer the question, will Cavalry replace After Effects? And I hope you didn't skip the video just to hear the answer. The short answer is, it depends on what you want. If you want to create cool 2D animation, I'd say start learning Cavalry today. But if you want to do 3D or a mix of 2D and 3D like me, After Effects is probably a better option. Also, if you're working in a team, chances are they're using After Effects, which makes Cavalry harder to use in the most team-based projects. These are just my opinions, so let me know what you think about Cavalry in the comments. If you found this video helpful, liking the video and subscribing to the channel would be a huge support. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.